Hi, 1301 folks, it's Dr. E, and this is the week 11 instructional video. So setting up what we have on our agenda this week and some reminders. The first thing you'll see, I have D2L pulled up. I do have this announcement related to the reading journal. I went through and offered you all individual feedback on your journals. So make sure you take a look at that feedback and turn it in. I also did make a quick video that kind of walks through some of the things that I was seeing and also shows you how to view that feedback. I suggested that before you turned in this week's reading journal that you take a look at this video and the feedback, because I went through a whole list of things that I was seeing, but that you may want to correct before this submission. I also have an example that I posted, and this is by a student who was generous enough to offer her work as an example. So thank you, Anita, for allowing us to do this. And I put a few notes just to show, like, this is what Anita did, this is what it looks like. Just because I'm definitely seeing, and I'm sorry it's a little too late, that having this example would be really helpful. So definitely take a look at this. Anita has allowed me permission to share this with you. Well-written and thorough summary. Some of you I suggested, you need to beef up your summary just a little bit, or you need to beef up your response a little bit. And then, Anita has this full quote that she then explains, and then there's the space, and she jumps into her next entry. So take some time to look through that if you haven't, and just kind of see what it looks like and how Anita has structured everything, because I think that'll be really helpful. So moving into this week, I do want to go over the schedule just so that we're kind of keeping our eyes on the future. So for this week, we're reading Cosgrove's article, and it's about what we think of as food studies programs, so programs in college that actually are focused on food and food studies. So all the things that we're kind of addressing in our theme for this semester, Cosgrove kind of digs into, and that's what your post this week will be focused on. Okay, so, watch the weekly videos, which you're doing now. Awesome. Prompt is posted, and I crossed out writing discussion and put paper topic post. And this is so that we have a handful of those posts that you can then choose from when we start working on our portfolio. Okay, so it's just the name of it. Don't worry about it. That's going to be due on Thursday, and then your participation quiz is due on Sunday. So all of this stuff is available on Monday, but usually I post it a bit earlier. So your paper topic post on Cosgrove's article is going to be due on Thursday. And then by Sunday, respond to 2 colleagues and complete that participation grade. But I did want to include this information so that you really start thinking about this, because it's time for us to start compiling and putting together our paper topic portfolio. So maybe it's time to go back and review that video or review the guidelines. So remember that if you go over to this area, this area, you'll see the rubrics and videos. And the paper topic portfolio is just gathering a handful of these paper topic posts from the past. You're going to revise them, edit them, and add an abstract paragraph before each. So essentially you've done a bulk of the writing. It's just about going in there and adding those abstract paragraphs and putting it into an MLA formatted document. So just take a look ahead at this, and then we'll also read about peer review by DePeter, and that article is posted in D2L, because next week we're going to peer review our paper topic portfolio. So those of you who like to get ahead, this is your chance to do so. Okay, so for our paper topic post this week, after reading Cosgrove's article, I want you to, in one paragraph, including at least one brief quote that follows MLA formatting guidelines. And that video I posted about the reading journals discusses quoting and MLA guidelines. I want you to explain the food studies program that Cosgrove writes about. Okay, so in your own words, just really dig into what this program is supposed to be, what are the requirements, that kind of thing. In 2 paragraphs after that, I want you to identify a food studies program from another school. So again, like last week, we want to do a little bit of digging, but I did include a link here that may be helpful. This is a list of, food studies right now is a huge kind of booming academic field. And so you'll see, I'm just going to scroll. These are all the possible food studies programs. So I just want you to kind of investigate one, okay? And I did put Be selective. It may take a minute to land upon a program you kind of want to dig into and read about. So don't just pick the first thing and think, oh, I have to go with this. Do a program, overview of a program that you're interested in. So in 2 paragraphs, I want you to identify and explain, the school, you identify the school, but also what's going on in that program that's interesting. Include the name of the school and program, copy and paste the link to the program's main page. Okay, so we're just offering a link so that we know where to go if we want to do our own kind of investigation. Finally, in 2 paragraphs, I want it to then let's focus it back on ourselves and our own experiences. What kind of food studies program would you create at North Harris? And I want you to explain your choices, right? So what areas of emphasis? What are some different topics? What classes would you think are interesting? And I put, don't just repeat those things that we learn from these other programs. You certainly can use them as a guide, but I want you to think about like where you live. Think of Houston as a city, or think of your specific neighborhood or community. Think about, your access to fresh food and gardening, and go back to think about Ron Finley's video about, being a guerrilla gardener in South Central LA, right? Think about food insecurity and nutrition. What are classes that would be really impactful, meaningful for our North Harris student body, and why? Okay, so you can definitely take a cue from Cosgrove's investigation and those things you're investigating up here in these 2 paragraphs, but I really want you to personalize your idea for what we could do at North Harris, because this is always just exciting to consider, because one day maybe we will be able to create a food studies program. Okay, so your initial response is due Thursday, your response to 2 other folks due Sunday. I'm going to stop right here and say that the random word for the instructional video today is book, like a book that we read, or, a book for our class. You do have the week 11 quiz right here. I would definitely recommend doing this after, doing your reading and everything for this week and investigating. And let me know if you have any questions for sure. As last week, I'm definitely going to do some work to try to provide you with feedback for those things that you've been submitting. I'm looking to get back on track, and hope that you're feeling like you are getting back into the swing of things after spring break and kind of a rocky, rough semester so far. So hang in there, good luck, and let me know what you need.